Council of Mandate and Immunity held a meeting to discuss Tahiri's case but have postponed the session in order to reach a decision tomorrow. The current Minister of Interior declared that Tahiri's case is being used for political gain. Meanwhile, the Chief Prosecutor declares that the prosecution is closely following the investigation. The government has predicted an increase in foreign investments over the current mandate. Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Friday, the 20th of October 2017. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, bringing you the day's national top stories translated into English 6 days a week. The Council of Regulation, Mandates and Immunity for Members of Parliament held a meeting today to decide on the prosecution's request for the removal of immunity and the arrest of the former Minister of Interior, Saimir Tahiri. Yesterday, the chairman of the Parliament, Grammos Rucci, declared that the prosecution's files have been given to all members of the council, as well as to former Minister of Interior, Tahiri. The prosecution of serious crimes has requested the removal of immunity for Saimir Tahiri and called for his arrest. The decision by the prosecution came after the investigations into the Habilai group. When the Council of Mandates and Immunity reaches a decision, the report must be presented to Parliament within 4 weeks. Present in the session were 3 representatives of the prosecution, representatives of the Democratic Party and the Socialist Party, as well as the accused himself, Saimir Tahiri, and his lawyer. The prosecution's representatives have reported and made public the evidence which, according to them, implicates the former minister in drug trafficking. On the other hand, the members of the majority at the council have asked for more concrete evidence and for the inclusion of evidence made public by the Italian media. Meanwhile, MP Saimir Tahiri said that it was in fact he who had requested the investigation on Habilai after a declaration that his car had been used for drug trafficking. Tahiri's legal representative asked for 3 days to prepare the defence for his client. However, the opposition members retorted that this is not a court session. The meeting was closed after several debates and postponed until tomorrow at 10 o'clock. The Democratic Party members contested the meeting to be postponed, but the chairman of the council ended the meeting nonetheless. The former Minister of Interior declared after the meeting that the truth will come to light as he believes in justice. All we need is a little patience, said Saimir Tahiri. Prime Minister Edi Rama and the chairman of the Democratic Party, Lulzim Basha, have clashed on social media. The pair have been exchanging comments regarding the ongoing discussions by the members of the Commission of Mandates and Immunity for the removal of immunity for the former Minister of Interior, Saimir Tahiri. The Prime Minister expressed his willingness to rely on justice after the end, but only after he has seen all the evidence. Until now, there have been only meaningless discussions at the meeting of the Commission of Mandates. Let's wait for the word of justice, wrote the Prime Minister on Facebook. DP Chairman Lulzim Basha reacted immediately, accusing Prime Minister Rama of trying to help who he considers to be his collaborator in drug trafficking. This is Edi Rama. He has imprisoned poor citizens and he wants his collaborator in crime to be set free. This is despite there being evidence from the Italian anti-mafia relating to drugs and arms trafficking. This is a state that supports crime. This must come to an end, responded the DP chairman. Yesterday, the prosecution requested the arrest of MP Saimir Tahiri as, according to them, there is sufficient evidence to believe that the former Minister of Interior has been involved in drug trafficking. The Minister of Interior, Fatmir Jafai, has strongly criticised the head prosecutor, Adriatic Lala. When asked by journalists regarding the prosecution's accusations, Jafai stated that the accusations are being used as political ploys. Jafai looked at the documents presented by the prosecution without reservations and considered them not to be convincing. I believe this case is being used for political gain. This is not the first time it has happened. It's actually very harmful to the authority and reputation of the prosecution. There have been 2 references from the state police to the prosecution regarding this issue, and there have been little actions taken by the prosecution, said the Minister of Interior, Fatmir Jafai, in his statement. In his first reaction on the Tahiri case, the General Prosecutor of Albania, Adriatic Lala, has placed emphasis on the fact that crime has extended across the whole country, and for this reason, everyone must take their own responsibility. The General Prosecutor has also replied to the Minister of Interior. The Albanian prosecution is closely following the investigation of criminality in the country. The situation is tense. Criminality has spread in the whole territory of the country, especially in Vlora, Lushnja and Elbasan. Our duty is to investigate these cases and bring to justice all persons responsible. The clashes between Jafai and Lala happened at the end of the conference for the 25th anniversary of the Constitutional Court. The international partners are closely following the case against former Minister of Interior Saimir Tahiri, who stands accused of being connected to drug trafficking. Speaking from Shkodra, the Hungarian ambassador to Albania said that the process is being monitored step by step, emphasising the responsibility of the country in the fight against crime as one of the 5 criteria to be met for European integration. Criminality is one of the 5 big steps that Albania politics must take. We are closely monitoring everything that is happening, but it is your country's duty to take responsibility and to fight this issue. It is not our duty to offer solutions. This is up to you. The Hungarian ambassador confirmed that the diplomatic headquarters in Tirana are closely following the process. I praise the steps taken regarding the vetting system. It's natural that immediate success cannot be achieved, as it requires time. But I can say that it's a good start. The international system of monitoring is in Albania, but regarding the opposition's request for a thorough process, well, it simply must happen. Vetting takes time, but it will happen. It is not just something that the internationals want, but something that must be done. It is in the interest of every citizen, concluded the ambassador, adding that the ambassadors cannot comment on specific issues. The ambassador made this statement during the commemoration of Hungry Day in Shkodra. Even though it is likely to be highly debated, even after adoption, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ditmir Bushati, has commented on the new laws on minorities as an instrument to end speculation made to date. Following a meeting with minority associations in Shkodër, Bushati said the laws capture the picture of the current Albanian reality. In his statement, Bushati said the laws are not being made for reciprocity, but to capture the Albanian spirit and assist with the Euro-Atlantic integration process. During the meeting between the Foreign Minister and the minority representatives, the ways that minorities will be represented in state institutions and the modalities foreseen by the laws were also discussed. The representatives of minorities suggested that the new laws should seek to improve employment levels of minorities and improve social acceptance of their cultures. The Albanian government predicts more investments during its second mandate. According to budget indicators, an increase in capital expenses of 11.8 billion lek for next year has been predicted in comparison to the year 2017. These investments are expected to be mainly realised through collaboration with the private sectors of the economy. It has been learned that the government contemplates to fulfil the economical needs through funds coming from an internal loan, which is predicted to be 11 billion lek more than in the year 2017. The budget draft for the year 2018 predicts an increase in funds for investments compared to the year 2017. Based on the indicators regarding this issue, it is ascertained that there is an increase of 11.8 billion lek. The total sum of the investment fund for the year 2018 is predicted to be 86 billion lek, while it was learned that these investments will be mainly made of a public-private partnership nature. Indicators on the consolidated budget of 2015 to 2020 have also predicted increases in funds. In the first mandate of Prime Minister Rama's government, reduced funds were set for the achievements of investments, causing a lack of new projects on infrastructure. To accomplish these investments, the Albanian government is expected to rely on loans from the internal trade market. Meanwhile, an increase to the internal loan is also predicted for the budget draft of the year 2018. The Albanian government has predicted to ask from the bank system 31 billion lek, which is 11 billion lek more than they asked for in the year 2017. It is expected that this loan will affect the loans of the banks given for businesses and that the government is a certain creditor. That's all for our English edition this evening. My name is Alexandra. Please join me again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. On behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.